Okay kids, Ham and Cheese back here with you again today. And today on the bench we're going to take a look at the ANENG, A-N-E-N-G Multimeter. Okay, this is one we featured in the community page here a little while back, and the post is over there if you want to go take a look at that. We found this on Amazon here this week. They had it for $10.59, but then they had a 10% coupon or something like that, and it ended up being $9.99 for it altogether. So I figured pick it up, see what it's all about, and see what it looks like. So let's go ahead and do the unboxing on it here, and let's see what we have. Well, start with the battery. Okay, peak power. Let's see if it's any good or not. Go with the cables here, and it comes with a whole myriad of cables. We'll take a look at in just a second. The multimeter itself, and a bunch of instructions, nothing else. Alright, so let's look at the instructions here real quick. Smart digital multimeter, and if you're into Chinese, there you go. So let's take a look at the English here for a second. Basic operating instructions, safety symbols, maintenance, and general description, along with some voltages there as well. AC/DC resistance and continuity, and we could test diodes with it as well, apparently. And that's one of the things that I saw here, just taking a quick look at it, that I thought really stuck out was it's got the ability to do testing right here of transistors, NPN, PNP, and apparently also we can do diodes with it as well. So let's set that off to the side for a sec, take a look at some of the cables we got with it. We have our basic test leads, and they just have standard banana plug style on the end. We also have a number of other items as well here. We have a couple probes. We have a handful of banana clips, or alligator clips. These are just loose end cables. I guess we take those and plug them in something similar to that. Actually, they look like they're threaded. That's not too awful bad. Something like that. And then for these other cables, yep, let's just do that. We have some other various probes as well. Looks like we have a couple of spade terminals and some pins as well. Take a look there. All right. So let's go ahead and pop the battery into it and see what it does. Alright, so here it is out on the bench. There's our probes, of course, our cable and everything. We go to put it together, it snaps in kind of tight. You can hear a nice little snap there. It holds in place. It's not going to come loose real easy. You got to kind of pull on it. So let's take a quick look at a 9-volt just to see what it measures out at here. So we'll go ahead and open it up. That's our voltage there, DC volt. And we'll close it real quick just to make sure it closes. That's our positive side. And we get about 9.84. That's what we end up with. So Let's slide this guy over for just a second, and let's compare it to a little bit better meter. The meter we're going to compare it to is my Tenma. This is my Tenma 72-7765. You can see a little bit better right there. This is a good meter. This is about a $60 meter. It's not a Fluke. It's not a Fluke 27 or anything like that, but this thing is rock solid. I've had this in the oil field with me. Actually got this about 15 years ago. My father-in-law gave it to me. And like I said, I've taken it to the oil field. It's been through hell and back with me. I've used it a lot over the years. And it's amazing how good of a value it is. So you can see the cable's staying real tight on this one. You're not going to fight it. Let's go ahead and open this up to DC voltage. It tells you right on there, DC. Again, positive side. And let's see what we get. So we're at about a 9.6 on that one. So that's about a 0.2 difference there. That's a big difference. But in the purpose of measuring a battery, we know it's a 9-volt battery. It's measuring 9 volts. That's pretty good. I would say we are okay that it's going to tell us what we want to see over here. All right. Let's take a look at a couple components here, see if we can get some reads on some stuff. Let's just, for instance, we'll take a look at a couple of these diodes right here. We have this D7 and this D28. They're a little bit hard to read on the board, but you can see them right there, D7 and D28. We'll see if we can get some read values on them just to see what if it'll pick something up. So we'll go over to our new one here, and we'll go ahead and we'll drop down to our ohm meter. And we'll show off the beep there. That's a pretty good sounding beep. This is forward and reflective value, of course. And right there, I believe that is supposed to be about 0.48 reflective value. So we'll jump up to this guy. Let's show off the beep here real quick. So there's the beep on there. This is definitely a louder beep. Put it back into forward power. And nothing there. Switch it over. We're at about 0.54. We'll call it 0.54. So this was about 0.8. This is 0.54. Let's go ahead and pull the other one just to see if we can get anything off of it. Again, about a 0.54. And we'll do the same thing one time over here. So there's our 0.48. And there's a difference there, 0.474. These were both about 0.543 here. Let's jump up to this cap once and see if we can pull anything off the capacitor. That's probably about a 1.25. This capacitor on the side, it says 25 volts. I think it's at 47 microfarads is what I read it at. So there's an idea there. And the positive side's the side's facing closest to me. Let's see if we can get a read off of it here. And there's a big difference. That's a 0.77. And this was 1.2. So that's a sizable difference on components, okay? If you were looking just to see what an ESR value would be, to see if it's high ESR or if it's open or something like that, you could probably do it with this little guy, but I don't necessarily know if I would trust it on, say, something like a resistor, or I'm sorry, a transistor, to see if it's open or closed. Let's just see if we can get something off of this here. Okay, so it's saying it's a 1 there. Let's go ahead and drop it in there. And it's saying it's shorted open there. Let's bring this guy over one time just to see if we can get something off of it. And there's closed. And there's closed there, of course. And it is pushing out a little bit. It's not showing quite a 1. It's about a 0.79. It should say a 1 on it like this little guy does, but that's just the way this is. It's never done that as long as I've had it. Let's try one more transistor just to see what we get. And it's saying it's functional. There it's pushing. There it's open. And let's see what we get off the Tenma. Saying it's an open line. 0.52. This was about 0.48 over here. And of course we can close the line up as well. And there it is. So, like I said, you could test for functionality to see if something's good or not with it. But I don't think I would look for proper values and readings with it. Overall, it's a good little meter in the sense of it'll get the simple jobs done. Will it give you complex functions and readings? I don't think so. You can see the Tenma was much more tolerant. You know, we can lay it out against a capacitor wizard or something like that sometime and just see what it is. I got a Heathkit capacitor tester we could put it against. But overall, for simple things, checking batteries, checking the little stuff, measuring to see if you have an open or a short, yeah, this will absolutely get it done just the same as this will. Is the tolerance there? I don't think it is. So overall, I'm giving it a 3. And I'm giving it a 3 out of 5 because, number one, the cables are a nice length. They're about 3 feet in length total. You get all this extra stuff with it. You have all these extra cablings. And then you have things like the alligator clips. You have the spade bits. You have the probes. That stuff's extremely useful when you're trying to test something on the board, inside of a radio, inside of a PA board or a main or something like that. That's a little bit harder to do with this guy. Could I probably interchange those with these? Yeah, I would say so. And maybe we'll try that sometime just to see what happens. But overall, that's what it is. I'll throw it in the bag, just have it somewhere close. I like to keep these things on hand. You never know when you're going to need one to test a battery. Maybe I'll just throw it in the car, leave it in there, and use it for that. For a $10 meter, yeah, it'll get the job done, definitely. And it's not a bad little meter overall in that sense. Is it going to sit on the bench? Absolutely not. This Tenma stays on the bench, and that's my main go-to. I do have a Fluke bench meter that I use as well, but when I need something small in a hurry, this is my guy I go to. So, we'll put the link in the description for this. It's definitely worth a pickup. I mean, for $9, you can't beat it. And overall, like I said, 3 out of 5 stars. It's definitely worth the price point. Alright, so there it is. This is the ANENG, and let's see if they have a model number on this one more time. No, they just call it the Precision Digital Multimeter. Looks like it has a standard of some sort there, but doesn't really have a number or anything compared to the Tenma over here. So, alright, there it is. Like I said, link will be in the description for it if you want to pick one up. And we'll go from there. Alright, kids. Thanks for watching. 7-3.